This reality, this reality. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it could be worse. I'm living in the
Today on the podcast, we are featuring the St Albans, England group, the Pocket Gods. Learn more about them and listen to their track, Living in the Metaverse.
Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast, where we talk all things music. I'm your host, Jeanette Kinzel, music blogger and enthusiast. Let's get started with today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. I'm your host, Jeanette Kinzel. For those of you just joining us, this is the podcast where we talk about music and how it affects me, and we play a track for you to listen to so you can check it out and form your own opinion, and you can even tell us as well if you're so inclined. So today I am talking about the St Albans, England group, the Pocket Gods. So the Pocket Gods have been around for a while. They've been playing music all the way back to their inception in 1997. And the band was founded by lead songwriter Mark Christopher Lee. The group was actually discovered by late legendary DJ John Peel, and they even got a name check in his autobiography, Margrave of the Mashes, which was pretty cool. So they were together back in 1998, and I think there's been some different lineup changes over the years. And this song I'm going to be playing you today is actually off of their 77th album. So it's amazing how much music these guys have put out over the last couple years. In terms of the genre the band is described as, they've been kind of referred to as like a cult lo-fi indie group. And they've also been championed by a lot of like BBC Radio people, Hugh Stevens from BBC Radio 1, British punk rock singer Tom Robinson, and then also Steve Lamacq, BBC Radio 6 music DJ. So, you know, they've had a lot of music they put out. They've been around for a long time. They're like the ultimate, like, we're hardworking band. You know, they've been struggling. They've been trying to make a name for themselves. They've been playing for like a really long time. And, you know, they've had so much music that they even were put into the Guinness Book of World Records for the most tracks recorded on one album. So they put out a couple, I think it was earlier this year, they had it's called 1,000 by 30, Nobody Makes Money Anymore, and it contained 1,000 30-second songs. So, like, could you just wrap your head around that? Like, making 1,000 songs? Like, it's so cool of them that they did this. And it was also written in protest against the lack of fair royalties for artists on streaming. So the band was kind of protesting Spotify because I think they weren't giving them enough royalties. So the band created 1,000 30-second songs, and it's really kind of catapulted them into like the mainstream, and a lot of news outlets and a lot of music outlets had picked up the story. So it kind of really was a great thing for them, because they're getting like fans worldwide, and, you know, they're also just getting all this press for it. And it's really great because, you know, not only are they doing something that is meaningful to them and to so many artists, but they're also making a statement saying, we won't stand up for this. You know, we need to get paid what we feel we are worth. So it shows the testament of the band. And they were even able to get a meeting with the head of Spotify, who had made a concession to allow 30-second songs to be part of a playlist and would pass the price rises on to the artists. So it's just an awesome thing that this band has done. And, you know, they're challenging the streaming platforms and trying to get better royalties. And it just shows the power of the pen and music. And it's neat. And if you're even looking for some other good music to check out, like, check out this album. They have such musical depth. All these songs are so different, but they're also like really great. And they're entertaining, and there's something to check out, and they have a meaning behind them. So, you know, it's just amazing how much of an impact a 30-second song can have on you. I would definitely recommend taking a listen to this, and I can also leave a link in the show notes where you can find that album, 1,000 by 30, Nobody Makes Money Anymore. And, you know, that album also just kind of illustrates their varied musical abilities and creativity and really the genius of this band. So it's just a neat thing to, like, check out. And before coming out with this album, they also had released a bunch of music during the pandemic as a way to deal with like anxiety and mental issues that the lead singer, Mark Lee, was going through. And it was really good too. I had listened to some of it back in 2021, and we had featured a couple songs. They even had a Christmas song last year. And there was one funny one. It was like he was sick of watching box sets, and he wrote a song about there's something wrong with the right phalange based on the Friends episode where I think it was the last episode, and Rachel was on the plane and Phoebe was trying to get her off the plane saying there was something wrong with the phalange. And it's got like it's a funny song, but it's also got like a great beat. And it's interesting how much the music has varied just between that and this new song I'm going to play for you today. So they have a lot to offer for a lot of different people, depending on what your interests are and what you're into. So today, actually, the track that I'm playing is going to be off of their upcoming album called Bitcoins in the Fountain, and that's due out June 2nd. And they say it's considered an indie future pop album. It's going to be a concept pop album, basically on the life of 2022 and the technology-driven future that awaits us. And, this song, it's called Living in the Metaverse, and it's got like a repetitious chorus, and it's got like that indie vibe guitars, and the lead singer has a very distinct and unique voice, which is interesting and fun to listen to. But yeah, I mean, I really like this band. I think that they've got a lot to offer a lot of people. And if you're also interested in learning more about them, they also have a book and a documentary. And so the book and the documentary have the same name. It's it's called Weird: The Life and Times of a Pocket God. And then there's a documentary that was put out in 2019 or 2020, and it was actually nominated for a 2020 Jean-Luc Godard Award. And the documentary explores their 21-year of indie non-existence and the history of their 30-second song idea. It also explores how Mark Christopher Lee was dealing with mental health, and kind of actually it was all culminating to a suicide attempt. I think this music can also help people on an emotional level, like it's interesting because they talk about a lot of issues that people are dealing with, and it's just very real emotional music, and it's also fun, and it's got a really great beat. And this song is a little bit more futuristic. It seems to bring in more other musical instruments than I've heard in some of their other songs. It sounds like there's some piano keys and that kind of techno, not techno beats, but there's like that futuristic music feel to it. And it also sounds to revolve around this one distinct and repetitive keyboard melody. At least to me, it sounds like a keyboard. I don't know if I'm completely right, but I feel like that definitely creates this earwormy feel where you can't shake it. And then there's these futuristic techno melodies with these zephyr sounds. And I don't know if it's coming from the guitar or another instrument, but it's just a really kind of cool culmination of the music. And Mark Lee's voice, his distinct voice, flows kind of perfectly with that futuristic sounds of the track. So, I think it's definitely different from other stuff I've heard, but I really like the mix that they've put together on this track. And it seems that there's going to be more of a musical variation on the new album. Just from what I read, they're going to have some more they'll have some indie tracks and things that they normally put out, but it seems like there's going to be a little bit of pop influence and different things. It just seems like from the tracks they've been putting out, they're definitely different, but they're definitely great. And going back to just, if you're interested in their book and documentary, I will put links to those in the show notes. And I don't know if the documentary is available in the US. According to IMBD.com, it can be viewed on Amazon and Plex TV, though when I checked Amazon, it said it was not available in my area. So I'm not really sure if that's all of the US or just New Jersey. I think I'm going to check out that Plex TV and see if it's available on there as well. Also, if you're into reading, you can get the book on Amazon too. Well, I feel like I've been chatting for a while now, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So without further ado, now I will play you Living in the Metaverse by the Pocket Gods.
It's 8 a.m. and I'm feeling alone. All my friends have blown this reality. But I need some flesh and blood. And with your love, I understood this reality. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it could get worse. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it will get worse. It's 2 p.m. and I'm still alone, just waiting for the drop-off drone to bring me physical things for this world. This reality. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it could be worse. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it will get worse. Lost my perceiving. Drunk on the cyber server again, just looking for that special friend. Living in the metaverse. Guess it could be worse. Living in the metaverse. Guess it will get worse. Living in the metaverse. Guess it could get worse. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it will get worse. I'm living in the metaverse. Guess it will get worse.
We would love to know what you think about the Pocket Gods and their latest track, Living in the Metaverse. You can tell us in a comment on the podcast webpage. You can also leave an audio comment at the link in the episode summary. For more information on the Pocket Gods, please check them out on Facebook at the handle The Pocket Gods. That is ThePocketGods. You can also follow them on Twitter at The Pocket Gods singular. That is ThePocketGod. If you're looking for more new music, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you will get the latest updates on our artist features. You can also find more music features at our website, www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com. That is EATSLEEPBREATHEMUSIC.com. Thanks for listening and see you in the next episode.
Thanks so much for listening to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. To find new music and learn more about what we do, you can check out our website at www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com.